Hi everyone, it's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and I'm here today with the revisiting series for Scrapping for Less. Today I'm going to be revisiting the Flavor of the Month September 2017 card kit, and it just so happened that the randomizer picked the season or the kit that we're actually in. So for this one, this was back when they still had the 4 different collections. The collection ingredients included 6 sheets of fall paper, Pumpkin Spice by Lawn Fawn stamp in Collection 1. Collection 2 had 6 sheets of Flea Market by Doodlebug Design, and the stamp was Falling for You by Newton's Nook. Collection 3 was 6 sheets of Hello Fall by Simple Stories, and the stamp was Got Pumpkin by Brutus Monroe. 6 sheets of Not Too Spooky by Pink and Maine, and the stamp was Newton's Nook. Newton's Perfect Pumpkin by Newton's Nook, and that was in Collection 4. The original single scoop sundae came also with those collections in 8 sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and 4 envelopes. The double dip sundae included everything that was above as well as the following in Collection 1: Fall is in the Air ephemera, Fall is in the Air rub-ons, Fall is in the Air sequins by Kennedy Grace. Collection 2 also included Pumpkin Cute clips, Autumn enamel dots by Gina Marie, and Flea Market sequins by Kennedy Grace. Collection 3 included Pumpkin Sticko stickers, Leaf brads, Hello Fall sequins by Kennedy Grace. And Collection 4 included ingredients: a ribbon, 3 pairs of spooky eyes, spooky sequins by Kennedy Grace. The deluxe sundae included all of those ingredients, plus 2 mice and 1 squirrel die. And the banana split included all ingredients from the previous sundaes, plus Nuvo crystal drops in ripened pumpkin, pumpkin everything stamp by Neat and Tangled, and fall stickers. So when I started making the card, I wanted to use those Sticko stickers and make a background with them. So I did that, and then I decided with what I then thought which stamp I wanted to use, it wasn't going to work for that, so I ended up having to do something else. So then I decided to make 2 cards this month because I really wanted to use that background that I made with those pumpkin stickers. Now I know some of the items from this kit are still available, at least when I made this video they were still available, and I'll link all of them that I can find in the store. The Newton's Nook Perfect Pumpkin I know is. I believe the Got Pumpkin from Brutus Monroe as well as the Sticko stickers are still available. Now, onto the first card. I used a die that I just picked up at my local Hobby Lobby that was on clearance. It's a Memento die, and it has quite a bit of different things. There's an actual frame that's card size, an A2 size card, as well as that circle frame, and then a bunch of other little stuff. But I wanted to use that circle frame, and then I decided I wanted to use the Falling for You stamp by Newton's Nook and put it in the center. So like I said, I originally wanted to use that background, and I was going to do kind of a tone-on-tone look, which I decided I didn't really like, so I changed it up and decided to do something completely different and then go back and use that background on a different card. I decided to still use the background card because I felt that that color matched really well with the circle die with the stamp in there that I ended up using, and it was good to kind of highlight that. And then I decided to use the purple and that greenish color just to put a strip in there. And the strip is about 1.5 inches wide. So after I cut that down, I pieced everything together. I did pop up the center circle, and the sentiment I just think is really cute because it says, "Every year I fall for autumn leaves, apple cider, hay rides, pumpkin spice, and Jew." So I just put everything on there. It's an A2 size card, so it's 4.25 by 5.5. The back panel is 4 inches by 5.25, and then like I said, that strip is the entire length of the card, so it's 4.25 inches by about 1.5 inches. And then the circle that it cuts out from that die is approximately 3 3/8 inch 3 3/8 inches wide, or it's a circle, so I guess it's a circle. And then I ended up using some Nuvo Drops at the end to finish up this card. I used a turquoise color that is called Caribbean Ocean, just to kind of finish that off. Then I decided I wanted to put something on the inside of this. And these rub-ons that came with the kit, I don't believe I've ever used rub-ons. And they were kind of cool. I will say they are very easy once you know what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. So when you rub them off, they will become, they're completely lifted off of the plastic, and there's definitely a color change that you can see from the ones that are still stuck onto the cellophane and the ones that have come off. So you can definitely tell the difference on that. Like I said, I have never used those before, but they were actually pretty easy once I figured out what I was supposed to do with it. And then I did stick one little stamp on the inside of that just to give it a pumpkin, because that's what originally I was going to do. But then I thought those rub-ons were cute, and I'm trying to use the products that come in this kit, even if they're not something that I normally do. And then on the inside, with what mine's rub-on said was "So thankful for you." Autumn. It had a few leaves and a flower in autumn colors, and then, like I said, that pumpkin stamp. So that was the first card. My next card, I'm going to end up using that background, and I am going to stamp the Newton's Nook, Perfect Pumpkin, Kitten, as well as a bunch of the individual pumpkins, and then I'm going to color those with Copic markers, which I showed you in there which ones I used. You can see that I'm opening both sides of the markers. I read somewhere, or somebody told me, I'm not sure which, but I was having issues with sometimes them putting drops onto the paper, and somebody told me that if you equalize the pressure of the marker, that they won't do that, and you won't have where you get those drops, and it's too juicy in the nibs, so that you don't end up having a mistake on your card after you have spent so much time coloring them, or your image, or whatever the case is. And as you can see, I did not leave all of the coloring in here, just kind of parts of it, so you can kind of see each area that I colored and the colors that I used. So after I finished coloring these up, I used my Scan and Cut to cut out all of the images, and then I decided to figure out my card and how I was going to create it. I decided on that circular green color, and I cut out a circle with a die that was about 2 7/8 inches wide, and then I used the ribbon to create a bow to put that on the top. I did cut out some of the dies with the little squirrel and the 2 mice, and I ended up only using one of the mice. And then I also go back with the stamp set and stamp the faces inside of the pumpkins. I ended up using the main image with the cat, and as well as one of the smaller pumpkins that I put the images in. Then for the sentiment, I used Happy Meowoween. I just cut down a black strip, and then I heat embossed it with white embossing powder. And then I popped that as well as the circle up in the center of the card, and that is pretty much it for this card. After I just kind of figured out where I wanted everything and pieced everything together and glued everything down, I did put the smaller pumpkin kind of behind, and then I put that little mouse on top of the pumpkin like it was crawling up the side of the pumpkin. And then I added the cat image to the circle as well. I cut down and trimmed down the bow a little bit just so the ends weren't quite as long. And then I used a glue dot to actually glue that down. I did use my Brutus Monroe embossing ink. That's probably one of my favorites. I guess that and VersaFine are pretty much my 2 favorites. And for the faces, I used VersaFine Onyx Black ink. It's a real deep black color, and it has very good coverage so I like that. I ended up putting it on a black card base that is an A2 size card, so it's 4.5. No, it's 4.25 by 5.5. And then the card base, or the card panel, I did cut down. That panel I created with the stickers to 4 inches by 5.25. And then, like I said, I just placed all of the different things around on the card, and that is my card. So those are the 2 cards that I made for this revisiting video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you stick around and check out a couple of the other videos at the end, and I want to thank everybody for joining me. Take care.